Hi, Jim.
Hey, Brenda.
We're Heartiness approach.
Still, can you believe that?
We took some time this week again. I mean, I worked, but we took some time.
For us. Time for us.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do from now on, because guess what? We're important.
Well, we're also, whenever we decide to do something, we start thinking about how to do it bigger and faster and better. And we caught ourselves
several times.
And we're backing off.
And this is what he says. Oh, that's the old me. Oh, that's the old me. And I'm like, well, hun, we gotta, as long as we're recognizing that, that's a good thing, because we're still full of ideas, Doesn't just turn off.
But we're not going to stop doing things, but we're taking it at a smarter pace, a safer pace.
Well, I realized, I told him this morning when we were taking our walk, I said, if my thing to do was just to sit in front of the TV and watch it all day so I could relax, I would not be relaxing.
No, it wouldn't work at all.
So, have to figure it out.
We are amazed at the response and sharing of our story. How many people have had this happen to them or a loved one? We suspected there were many. The response is letting us know there have been. And the experience was the same.
Yeah, and that's one reason why we named it the actual diagnosis, because we wanted it to be able to help other people. Those of you who have watched it or are watching the new ones, subscribe, because we gear our channel around anybody who needs help, but especially around seniors our age, in helping them eat, exercise, and be emotionally well. Whew.
And that video was primarily, this is what happened to us. We haven't really fixed anything yet.
No, we're still fixing.
We're working on it. We are going to do a playlist that includes that topic, the
stress topic.
The stress topic in various forms, but definitely the transient global amnesia, because that is an occurrence that happens to a lot of people who get carried away.
I woke up this morning.
Good.
While you were still
asleep. I'm glad you're awake.
And somebody named Pamela had put this on 23 minutes before, and it touched my heart. As soon as he woke up, I said, you gotta listen to this. And it says, and I'm really in the light, not being able to see well here, transient global amnesia happened to my husband. Absolutely terrifying. The thing is that it happened to him, but I was the one going through it. And that's
a great description of how it was.
Perfect.
Because I don't think it happened to me. No clue.
Trust me.
I hear the stories.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
I watched it happen, and
no, you were going through it.
I was going through it, and that's what happens to any spouse or loved one who is watching a person go through a heart attack, a fainting.
Heart attack, fainting. A lot of times, the person experiences it themselves as well, pretty much. You have the memories. It's right there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
you have no memory of it.
With the TGA, typically there's nothing. I mean, it's that's that piece of my life gone.
So we went up to the mountains this week just for a little drive, and we're going to just show you a tiny piece right now. Okay. We made it to the very end, up at the top of the canyon as far as you can go, and this is the trailhead, and there's water draining out of those snowy mountains up there, coming down, but at least we got all the way here. But I'm not going to walk on that trail because it looks pretty cold. And you can hear the rushing of the river that's down here that's just full of the snow melt off. It's pretty cool, huh, Jim?
I think this is awesome.
You see this? It's a little chilly, but it isn't. I mean, it was 75 down south.
Well, it's like it's in the 60s low 60s
Okay.
here right now. So yeah, it's
Anyway, we made it all the way to the top.
yeah, it's open all the way here. Hiking on up the trail,
Okay,
a little
yeah.
challenging right now. Between
Maybe.
water and mud and snow, I'm not prepared.
But the point is, we got out and we went for a drive, and we got out and sat and talked and followed around 2 groundhogs and
We have pictures of them. We'll share the pictures.
No. About 10 groundhogs,
Yeah.
and they were playing chicken going across.
Yeah, it was funny.
Proof though, we're getting out. This has committed us even more to helping ourselves and helping others
Oh yeah.
be healthy. And we've really started working on the emotional wellness of it, which includes the fitness of it. And so we made up a program for
For
ourselves.
ourselves, yes.
We actually put on Regenerate, Don't Degenerate, which was his channel. And we decided to watch ourselves exercise and exercise to it.
Hey, that was a good routine. We need to do that now.
But the doctor had prescribed yoga to him, so we are going to be doing that Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays in the morning, and then every evening before we go to bed.
Yeah, there's an AM PM version. So the PM version is every night to help us relax.
And I'll tell you what, we will put a link to it down below. This was prescribed to us by his doctor, and this particular one, his doctor does.
Yes.
And so,
Well, can I tell the story?
I don't know.
I can.
Okay.
This is a story apparently I know. So the doctor said that his wife had started doing this yoga thing, and he was like, okay, whatever. And then one day he watched it with her, went through it and started doing it. Fell in love with it because it was very effective, both the AM and the PM. The AM to kind of get you going, get your body where it needs to be, and the PM to bring you down into the evening.
I'm
nighttime.
excited.
So yeah, I mean he was convinced.
Cool. Cool. Well, so we've made this schedule out for ourselves, and now we're trying to figure out the rest of it. We're trying to plan our vacation. Vacation planning can be stressful.
The last thing a vacation planning should do is stress you out. But that is typical of us.
So typical of us. So we have a vacation in a week and a half. It's my birthday is next week, right?
No, 2 weeks.
My birthday's on the 11th.
Oh, you've told the whole world.
I want happy birthdays. I love birthdays. You guys can just tell me happy birthday because I love it. I'm not shy.
I don't think she can get too much happy birthday, so you're probably right.
It's on the 11th. But at work
Of June. Yeah.
But at where I work, we get any day off in the month of our birthday month off, and I'm taking the 18th off, which is the next one. So we have a 4-day weekend, and we're going to go camping. But maybe you guys could help us. We don't know where to camp.
Well, we do know where to camp, but it's a long, long drive.
Well, we don't want to camp in Lamoille this weekend. I mean, that particular weekend. We don't want to camp up in the Rubies, which are beautiful. But we want to see if somebody knows southern Idaho and could tell us more about that, because it's not that far away. And I know there's beautiful things up there, so if you know of specific places,
Well, are you
tell us.
thinking like the Sawtooth area?
Sawtooth, something like that.
So yeah, if you're familiar with campgrounds to avoid, would be nice to know. But campgrounds that have got, she's wanting trees. I'd like trees as well. A little shade, that would be fantastic. Water nearby.
Has to have water.
But serene. We're looking for some serenity.
Yeah, like I read on one and it said, we love to take our ATVs there. We personally despise ATVs.
Serenity, ATVs, I don't see that as a mixture. Now, if you like ATVs, I got it.
No,
okay?
that's fine. They have their place. It's just not when you're trying to go out in nature and be quiet.
Yeah, noise-free, dust-free. That doesn't go along with ATVs.
So if you have any suggestions on that, let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more thing. When we were on our little vacation that we went on, when he needed to, when we all
Our weekendcation.
our weekendcation that we went on to get away. We went to a lake that I had been to as a little girl, and it was just the same. It was just the same. Those of you who have been there will know what
Why
it is.
would it have been different?
Because sometimes they've had forest fires.
Oh, that's true.
Sometimes they've
Yeah,
been taken
you know,
over by cabins.
My childhood
Somebody-
memory of a lake that my dad took me to,
It had
the
a
last
forest
time we
fire.
went there, a forest fire had gone through there a couple years before, and the forest around it leading
Yeah.
up to it, gone. And that really changed the nature
Yeah.
of it.
But this is in Oregon. It's in southern Oregon. It's by Klamath Falls, and it's Lake of the Woods. If you've been there, you know Lake of the Woods. As a little girl, and I'm talking 4th grade, we would all load in the back of all my cousins, aunts and uncles. We'd all go camping together. So all the kids would load in the back of the pickup on top of the sleeping bags. I know, not something we do today. No seatbelts existed then.
Back in the late 50s, early 60s, that was safety.
And we would sing, found a peanut, found a peanut. Anyway, we have this wonderful memories going camping with all my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and lots of pictures of it. So we were there, we went driving by it, and we went into it, and it was the same, and it was so beautiful. I'll put some pictures on here.
Now, we literally went driving by it. She wanted to stop and see it. I can't remember what she was doing, but she was doing something. All of a sudden, she looks up and she says, I think we have to turn here. I'm, 60 miles an hour down the road. And
No stress, though.
no stress. But we made it. We got back in there.
So now that would be a really fun place to go, but that's 8.5 hours from us. But we haven't ruled it out.
We'll see.
But no, see, the last video we had where I wanted to do something and you didn't, you went nuts afterwards. So
Yep.
we're not doing that. So we're going to go someplace quiet and close. Quiet and close.
There we go.
It's all good.
Yes. Yes.
You guys, we went out into the garden a little while ago and we picked some fresh chard, and I made a video about how to fix it. Enjoy this, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We love to eat nutrient-dense food. We love to grow in nutrient-dense soil, but there's a way to cook your food so that it's nutrient-dense and you get the vitamins out of it. And that's one thing I'm learning in the courses that I am taking for my master's in holistic nutrition. Jim, put the camera down on this huge pile of Swiss chard. We just got this from our garden, and we de-stemmed it. There are certain kinds that you can eat with the stems in, but some are good and some aren't. We laid it down and cut it into inch-long pieces. So we just stacked them and went like this and cut them. And I'm going to cook them instead of steaming them so that you're using just a tiny bit of water and then steaming them for a long time. That's one way to cook them. But this way is called nutrient dense way, and you're going to quick boil it. So I have water that is completely boiling here, and I'm going to put these into it. So Jim, if you'll put the camera so that you can see me do that. And I'm going to time it as soon as it starts to boil again for 3 minutes. And you want to be able to have it al dente on the outside and kind of crisp on the inside, which is different than we've been doing it before. And then we're going to put it into a strainer and get it drained off as quickly as we can. This is 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm cooking some salmon in the back. And 2 tablespoons of lemon or lime juice, and a garlic that's minced up, and salt and pepper. This is going to go over the Swiss chard when we're all done with it, because by being able to add a good fat, olive oil, to our vegetable, it allows us to be able to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins that are in it. The A, the K, and the E vitamin that's in there. They need a little bit of fat in order for our body to absorb them. So it's not just enough to cook it and eat it. We need to make sure that we are allowing it to our body to be able to absorb what it needs to. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. You can turn it off. There we go. All right, 3 minutes. I'm taking it out and putting it through on a strainer. So it's just out of there as quick as it can possibly get out. Okay, good enough. And then, oops. Want to press that water out as much as possible. Okay, now I'll put it over on my board over here. And I'm going to cut through it again because that'll makes the flour. Oh, there's a bug on me. Oh, gosh. There literally was a bug on me. From the garden, from my lettuce, I'm betting. See all that great big, how it goes down? That's why we go and harvest so much of it. All right.
And what are you putting in now?
This is the olive oil, the lime juice, and garlic. And now it's ready to serve. So, this is the way we're serving it. We're going to put this on this plate. So see, I'm not serving it with butter this time, I'm serving it with olive oil. Salmon. This is brown rice cooked in a chicken broth, and it has little tiny bits of chicken breast in it. And then I am putting in some hazelnuts that have been chopped up. There you go. Come back to me. Now, I, like you, when I saw them cooking it in this great big pot of water, I was like, oh my word, there goes all the nutrients down the drain. But because it's done so quickly that it retains it and it doesn't have a chance to break down what's inside, at least that's what the book says that I'm reading it from. And so it's a way to cook nutrient dense, and because you're mixing it with a good fat, then your body's going to be absorbing it. Bon appetit!